Hey friends, I wanted to pop on today and just talk a little bit about the holidays and about how to combat loneliness and stay connected with our loved ones and friends and even just what really matters to us in life. And I read an article recently about how important the way that we communicate it with others is, and not just in the language that we use, but the methods that we use to communicate with. And I plead guilty to really loving texting. Texting has changed my life. Like, I can now communicate with so many people in such a shorter time and very efficiently, and it's kind of on my terms, right? I mean, when you communicate with text, you can say as little or as much as you want, and you can pick up the phone, you can control the interaction a little bit more. But what happens is that actually is one way to sort of disconnect from others. And maybe that's even when and why I use it. If I don't really want to connect, or I'm distracted and I'm just going to be perfunctory and answer the question. It's a great way to communicate with all the ways that we use it. Like, what do you need at the store? Or how are you? Call me. Let's get together this weekend. But if you really want to connect, which is the best way to combat loneliness, the best way is using your voice. And there's a reluctance that we all have to picking up the phone. At least I do. Because if I see even someone that I love, if I see that they're calling me, if it's not a good time for me, or if I feel immersed in what I'm doing or don't want to feel trapped on the phone, then I don't pick up, and I think I'll call them later. But with time differences and coordinating calls, it can be tricky. Lots of us are spending a lot of time during the day and evenings even on Zoom also, which is a great way, I think, to communicate with a lot of people at once, but is actually proven in some research lately. These guys at the University of Texas at Austin, Amit Kumar and Nicholas Epley did in experimental psychology department there, did an experiment that concluded that connecting with someone really is about getting closer to the mind of the other person, and our voices convey emotion so much better even than our facial expressions. And so it's actually not necessary to be, even though I'm talking with you face to face right now, you just listening to my voice, you can tell my mood and get a lot more out of the conversation maybe that we're having or what I'm saying by tuning into the nuances of my voice and lilt and tone, than being sort of distracted by the facial expressions. And science has also concluded that we're actually not very good at reading other people's facial expressions. Even people we know really well, we may misinterpret cues that come from facial expressions or body language, whereas the voice is much more of an accurate indicator of how we're actually feeling and what we really want to say. So with regard to communicating, I really like, if I want to feel more of a connection with someone and it's not going to work out timing wise to speak on the phone, I've really enjoyed some of the voice texting features on the iPhone. I don't know about Android, maybe so. But Messenger with Facebook has a voice feature. And Voxer is an app that can be used solely for voice texting if you like that. Even WhatsApp has a voice feature, which is great because what you can do is voice, so the recipient can hear your tone and what you want to say and how you're conveying it, kind of get a sense of where you're coming from, since words can be misleading sometimes. When you open an email or see a text, you don't know exactly, was this person annoyed? Were they being silly? And then the person receiving the voice text can hear that in your voice, and they can listen to the voice text whenever it's convenient for them and respond in kind when it's convenient for them, and maybe keep the conversation going that way. It's a great way to communicate with people who are in different time zones. And if you're busy and you're working and you have kids or you have a lot going on and you can't get in sync, it's still a way to really reach out. And you can even do this with your texting on your phone. When I said the iPhone, you can just push there's a little voice microphone above the microphone you'd use to text, transcribe what your voice is saying, and actually convey your voice. And you have to save it. You can only do it like a minute at a time, but it's still a great way to maintain deeper connections with those in your life that you really care about. So that's it for today. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're hanging in. Doing great might be a little bit much to ask for, but reach out to me or others that you love if you need some help and support and connection to get you through. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.